afternoon. I trust you are well on this third day of October, the year being 2023. Time to bring you up to speed on what has been taking shape within and even beyond the borders. My name is Moige William. Welcome to the broadcast. Now, top on our focus this afternoon, more than 60 students from Iregi Girls High School are admitted to different hospitals in Kakamega County following an outbreak of a known illness. 30 students are admitted to the Kakamega Level 5 Hospital, 20 to Shibwe Hospital and 10 to Iguhu Hospital respectively. The students who are unable to walk are suffering from paralyzed legs. Most students are being rushed to various health facilities as sources indicate that the initial laboratory test had revealed that the students were dehydrated. Medical personnel from Kemri are expected to visit the school later today to assess the situation. All right, more details in our subsequent bulletin. Moving on, President William Ruto has welcomed the decision by the United Nations Security Council, giving a go-ahead for Kenya to lead a multinational security force to violence-hit Haiti that has lasted over a year now. The resolution that got 13 votes will see Kenya send 1,000 troops to Haiti following the assassination of its President Jovenel Moise. Chaos rocked the country, leading to a uprising of armed gangs that have left over 2,400 people dead, leading to calls for an international intervention.
The resolution marks an important moment in the history of global multilateralism as we engage in international collective action that places human security and dignity at the same level as state security and sovereignty, and enables the nations of the world to discharge a collective moral duty of securing justice and security for all peoples of all nations. This is a mission for humanity, which connects boldly and directly with the founding principles of the United Nations and affirms our shared hope that justice is finally coming to the people of Haiti, who have borne the brunt of colonial plunder and repression, as well as post-colonial retaliation and exploitation, leaving them vulnerable to geological, climatic, and epidemic calamities. This moment also affirms the Pan-African commitment to our continent's unity, together with the African Union's policy of solidarity with the African diaspora in observance of our sacred duty towards our own flesh and blood, carried into captivity to suffer in chains in a world far away from home, and punished most severely over the centuries for claiming for themselves freedom, the most basic right of every human being.
Moving on, police in Nakuru are holding 16 suspected criminal gang members after an operation in downtown Nakuru last night. Nakuru County Police Commander Samuel Ndanyi says that the 16 were picked from restive Kaptembwa and Ronda slums after tip-off from members of the public. The police boss said a toy pistol and assorted crude weapons are among the items confiscated from the suspects' residence, saying they were caught in a brawl last night over women. Speaking at the Nakuru Central Police Station this morning, Ndanyi said the suspects will be arraigned tomorrow and charged with possession of the illegal items, causing unnecessary disturbance and belonging to criminal groups. The commander told reporters that the police are also pursuing a middle-aged man believed to be a ringleader to one of the gangs that have been striking terror among residents of Nakuru town and its environs.
Tumekuwa na operation ambayo imekuwa ikiendelea, lakini jana tumeweza kufanikiwa kushika wahalifu 10 ambao walikuwa wamezuiliwa hapa Nakuru Police Station na 6 kule Ronda Police Station. Wote wamefika hapa, wote kwa ujumla ni 16 ambao tuko nao hapa. Tumeweza kuwashika na vifaa tofauti, vifaa butu, imitation za bunduki, those are toy pistols. Tumeweza kuwashika na visu, bangi na vifaa za kutumika kusokota bangi. Vifaa mingi tu ambazo tumeweza kuwashika nazo. So tuko hapa, kesho watakuwa wanafikishwa kotini na hii operation itaendelea. Kumekuwa na mambo hapa na pale kusema magengo yamerudi, lakini nashukuru wananchi wameweza kutupa taarifa kwa wakati ufaao na tumeweza kumove the speed, na ndio maana tumefanikiwa kupata hawa 16. Vile tunavyoongea pia saa hizi operation inaendelea mchana, inaendelea mpaka usiku, na ni siku zote we want to sustain and maintain the operation so that the people living within Nakuru County are safe and they can go about doing their business in the manner that is supposed to be. So yangu ni kushukuru wananchi, unawazidi kutupa taarifa zile ambazo tunahitaji ndio eneo nzima la Nakuru liwe liko salama. Kwa kama mtu akiwa na uoga kupiga report pale katika kituo cha polisi kuwa hiyo taarifa itamgeukia, wanipigie simu. And I think they're safe when calling me. I operate in an open office policy, so I'm reachable. Wengi nimewapatia namba zangu za simu. Sidhani kama hiyo itakuwa ni shida. Jambo tu ni bora mtu anijulishe kama akona uoga kupiga taarifa pale katika kituo cha polisi.
Elsewhere, students from Multimedia University of Kenya earlier today took to the streets to protest poor living conditions that they have been exposed to and poor management. The students engaged in a back and forth chase with tear gas canisters being lobbed to quench the heat of the commotion. Traffic along Magadi Road came to a standstill, with vehicles using alternative routes after the students blocked the road right outside the school premises. The school administration is yet to comment on the matter, with one person being hospitalized and 2 others being arrested by police.
Wanafunzi hapa tunalipa school fees mingi, lakini ukiangalia hali ya hostel zetu ni uchafu tupu. Hakuna maji na tuko crowded.
We are addressing very genuine issues. We are addressing very genuine issues. We've done letters to the administration. They've taken us as if we are players. We've several occasions we met with them physically. They are only spreading lies. The only thing that this administration can tell you which is truth is the name of the institution. The rest are lies. The rest are lies. We are requesting for private audit of this university. Correct. There's someone somewhere. There's some demigod somewhere who thinks that we are children of a lesser god.
Moving on, we were not involved in the identification and recruitment of community health promoters. This according to a member of Parliament, Dr. James Nyikal, who says the exercise excluded key stakeholders despite the CHPs working directly with their constituents. The parliamentarian was speaking during a consultative meeting with non-governmental organizations to discuss existing gaps in the primary health care level.
And we'll be hearing a lot about that, and this is with specific reference to...
I think my colleagues will agree that we are not involved in that process. Some of us not even know who they are in our community. We don't even know how they were recruited. So I think at that level, if you're at policy level, if you can't write nationally in Kisumu, I think we would like to be involved in who are these, how are they picked, where are they working, which communities they are taking care of. I'm sure Honorable Bui would like to know in this village who is the lady or the man who is preventing these things, and what are they telling people, and so on. Because if that lady fails, she is going to take somebody to hospital at night. If the lady is not going to attend an dental clinic and is getting a difficult delivery, the baby is stuck, she will be woken up at 2 take the lady to hospital. So she needs to know.
Now let us shift gears here. The government has asked residents of Nyandarua County to clear leaning and overgrown trees near their homesteads and in school compounds to avert the dangers of El Niño rains and heavy winds. It also called on all stakeholders to harmonize their efforts so as to minimize adverse effects of the upcoming El Niño rains in Nyandarua rather.
My name is Peter Wambogo, County Director of Meteorological Services in Nyandarua County. Generally, we come here today, all the stakeholders of this great county of Nyandarua, so that I give them the season of weather forecast for October, November, December 2023, whereby we are anticipating the El Nino condition. And when we have the El Nino, one thing that is very important is that it enhances the rains that we are expecting.
Kwetu ili kuweza kupambana hili jambo within the shortest time possible, tumeweka tayari timu yetu kutoka National Youth Service Tumaini, kwa maana wao ndio karibu sana nasi. KDF wako mbali nasi, ingawa ikihitajika basi tunaweza kuwapata, lakini National Youth Service wako tayari, Kenya the National Police Service wako tayari, hata tuko na rangers ambao wanaweza kutusaidia kutoka kwa misitu.
Many people I know they like the beauty of trees, and they've grown them around their houses. I would say watch out for trees, that especially those trees, if you see that your tree is leaning or it does not have enough stability, because El Nino will come with a lot of wind. So some of the speed and the intensity of that wind may be able to uproot trees.
Now, the residents of Homa Bay, especially the Abasuba community, are asking their leaders, led by John Mbadi and Millie Odhiambo, to appear and welcome President Ruto when he starts his tour to the western region of the country on Friday. Residents of the Homa Bay area want development in the area to benefit the community. The residents have asked the leader of the opposition, Raila Odinga, to be on the front line to lead the residents of Nyanza to welcome the national leader so as to bring about development in the area.
We are telling particularly Millie Odhiambo, who is our MP, to work with the government. It seems the president is not even coming to Rusinga, maybe because of Millie Odhiambo, because of her stand. So when it comes to development, we have seen the way even Wanga is doing it, and I congratulate Wanga for what she's doing. Wanga has decided to work with the government. It doesn't mean that she's now joining UDA, no. So we are calling upon Millie Odhiambo to ensure that when it comes to issues of development, you should work with the government.
We are calling upon all the leadership, all the leaders within Nyanza. The president is on a visit to Nyanza. He is going to be here for 5 days. This is his home. This is his territory. All the elected leaders and all the political class, including Raila Amolo Odinga, you people are invited to join this team and see the good plans that President William Ruto has for the people of Nyanza, has for the people of Homa Bay, has for the people of Soba.
Soba has been largely forgotten and sidelined in terms of development by previous regimes. And we really anticipate and expect that this time round, His Excellency the President William Samoei Ruto will bring development to the Soba region.
All right, that is an interesting call by the residents of especially the Nyanza region, calling on a section of their leaders to be at the forefront to ensure that the presidential tour in the region, that is this Friday, is well received. Rather, the president is well received by leaders from that region. Remember, TV47 will also be bringing you these details with President Ruto in Nyanza this particular Friday, especially Homa Bay County, where he's expected to do a development tour. Our very own Apollo Kamau will be keeping tabs. We'll be keeping tabs on that particular story come Friday, so TV47 will be on that. Now, elsewhere, still on matters politics, we now understand that Azimio One Kenya is making their submissions before the National Dialogue Committee at Bomas here in Nairobi, whereby the Council, Azimio One Kenya is being led by former Laikipia Governor Nderitu Mureithi and Caroline Karogo, who are part of the Azimio Economic Council, who are leading Azimio One Kenya to make the submissions. Earlier on, we understand that part of the submissions that were made by the Azimio One Kenya include the excessive borrowings, which they claim is squeezing out private sector out of the country's market. Also, they're calling for the stimulation of production by reducing interest rates, and we also have part of their submissions before the Kemani Shungwa and Kalonzo Musyoka co-chaired the National Dialogue Committee is the reduction of taxes. They're calling for the reducing of taxation. Also, the team has also proposed that, or rather has submitted that the economic growth has flattened. But early on, we had a number of teams presenting their submissions before the Economic Council. Let us have and hear what the church had to submit before the National Dialogue Committee.
Imagine you are EACC and you are investigating the CS Treasury or the PS Treasury. And there's no secrecy. You will get a whim that you are investigating it. And you submit, maybe you want supplementary budget. That guy will naturally be hostile. And we have that experience in the previous regime, where top guys in Treasury realized that we're investigating them, and they decided to stop us. So EACC has noted, so what we are proposing is that we need a legislative amendment to guarantee operational independence and ensuring that adequate budgetary allocation and timely disbursement of effective discharge of our constitutional mandate is done. And this is not only to EACC. We are talking of EACC, we are talking of ODPP, and we are talking of judiciary. Because you can take care of EACC, and if you're not taking of the ODPP, our files will get stuck there. If you're not taking of the judiciary, the same problem will happen. So we need that constitutional sort of freedom, whereby this organization, there's a way that their budget is discussed. And I'm not saying that we are trying to run away from accountability. We are just trying to run away from realistic obstacles. We are all human beings. And the last one that we need to present in this committee is the strengthening of the capacity in terms of financial and human resource for all actors of the criminal justice system, that is the ODPP, EACC, IBC, and judiciary, and this will enable the actors to effectively and efficiently address the various election issues of concern which are within our respective mandate. What we are saying here is that if you look at the EACC right now, 4 years ago, we took our structure to the Public Service Commission. It was approved. We are supposed to be about 1,550 staff.
All right, that is Talib Mbarak, the EACC Chief Executive Officer, leading the team to make their submissions before the National Dialogue Committee. Now, let us move on to other news. Taxpayers have been urged to take advantage of the tax amnesty introduced in the Finance Act that has come to effect this month for an automatic waiver of the penalties and interest accrued on unpaid taxes before December of last year. These as Njuguna Ndungu, the Cabinet Secretary for Treasury, says the ministry's revenue strategy is still in full effect, and this relief alongside other steps such as increasing e-auctions at the port will help increase tax compliance from 70% all the way to 90%.
The Kenya Revenue Authority in the financial year 2022-2023 had recorded 2.166 trillion in taxation in comparison to 2.031 trillion in the same period in the previous year. This improvement, the Treasury said, was despite an economic slowdown occasioned by an unfavorable global fiscal environment. The tax collector now wants to widen this net further by offering financial pardons to taxpayers who would only pay the principal amount on taxes accrued before December 2022.
I encourage all taxpayers who have accrued interest and penalty charges up to December 2022 to pay their outstanding principal taxes and get a write-off of the penalty and interest accrued. Taxpayers with interest and penalties arising from non-filing of returns, you are entitled to an automatic waiver of penalties and interest once you have filed your returns. You're not required to make an amnesty application. The program has been running from 1st of September 2023 and it will run up to 30th of June 2024. I encourage you to take advantage of this program. It is a unique time-limited opportunity to regularize your tax status. Do take advantage of it.
This, the Cabinet Secretary says, would give an additional 50 billion shillings through tax amnesty. Taxpayers are from September 1st, 2023 to June 2024 allowed to settle the principal tax, and all their penalties and interests will be waived.
We are cognizant of our obligation to facilitate our taxpayers to uphold compliance in a friendly, fair, efficient, and effective manner. In our pursuit to enhance voluntary compliance, we have introduced groundbreaking initiatives such as the Electronic Tax Invoice Management System, otherwise known as ETIMS, an innovation geared towards automating VAT filings.
KRA is also aiming to increase revenue collection after launching an online auction for unclaimed cargo at the ports, which has given back 37.5 million shillings in revenue so far.
Is for realizing economic growth, sustainable development, and shared prosperity, essential for advancing the bottom-up economic transformation agenda. At KRA, we are steadfast in our duty to foster an environment of conducive tax compliance, of enabling taxpayers to be active contributors to the government's development agenda.
The tax collector says this will reduce backlog at the Mombasa port. The e-auction will now be doubled per month. Hibak Said for TV 47.
Now to matters sports. Sports shooter Priscilla Mburu has set her sight on securing a coveted ticket to the Paris 2024 Olympic Games. Mburu is currently competing in the Olympic 10-meter air rifle event in Cairo, Egypt, for first attempt at securing an Olympic ticket. Speaking during her training session, Mburu said she is determined to make history as the first Kenyan female shooter to grace the Olympic stage, adding that she wants to follow in the footsteps of Shujaa, the men's rugby sevens team, who have already earned their spot at the Paris game.
My Olympic qualifiers in Egypt, it's both stressing and exciting because, you know, we all want to qualify. And going to Paris has been one of my greatest dreams because for any athlete, qualifying for any Olympics is a huge, huge achievement, bearing in mind that it's the biggest podium there is in sports. And being a mom, it will be like a whole dream come true because this will be the very biggest of achievements and inspirations to my daughter who looks up to me on a daily basis, not only in shooting but also in my career.
All the very best to Mburu. Elsewhere, hosting the 2027 African Cup of Nations AFCON in the Pamoja East African Initiative will greatly promote sports tourism in the country. Those are the words of sports stakeholders and women in tourism in the country who have pledged to work tirelessly and in collaboration with the Ministry of Sports to make the event a success and brand Kenya as a sports tourism destination globally. The stakeholders emphasized on the importance of hosting international sporting events in the country, such as the WRC Safari Rally that has seen the country generate revenue through broadcasting rights, as well as accommodating a number of international fans who eventually boost tourism. The stakeholders were speaking during the Kenya Association of Women in Tourism Golf Tournament at the PAR 71 Nyali Golf and Country Club that attracted 151 golfers. The tournament saw Mohda Abubakar being crowned the overall winner on 41 Stapleford points, while Christine Okoch emerged as the lady winner on 39 points.
It translates to tourism, tourists, and money. So we're grateful that the head of state plus the Minister for Sports and Youth Affairs, Ababu Namwamba, were able to bring AFCON home, because that's a big plus for the country. And so